Welcome back to our channel. Today we bring you the top 16 biggest Marvel Studio movies. Before we continue, please press the subscribe button and the bell notification icon to receive regular updates from us whenever we upload a video. Over the years, Marvel Studios has made a lot of movies. From the initial trial and error period of Phase 1, through the uncertain highs and lows of Phase 2, to the record-breaking revival of Phase 3. Marvel has implemented the gamut of quality cinematic universe. Some hits and some misses. But these are the best Marvel movies that have been ranked. So, what is the best Marvel movie ever? Here are the top 16 biggest Marvel Studio movies. Number 16, The Incredible Hulk, 2008. The Incredible Hulk is doomed to chase the bottom of the MCU barrel from time to time. 2008 was a limited year for superhero films, ending with The Amazing Spider-Man and X-Men trio. It's too cartoonish for an ambitious audience. It also did not help that Ang Lee released a Hulk film in 2003. Number 15 is Thor: The Dark World, 2013. If there was a time when I was disgusted by MCU, it was the release of Thor: The Dark World. The overall vulnerabilities of Phase 1 are forgivable. There is a fun gimmick in these films, and it is good. But after the Avengers came out, Marvel picked up the moment. Iron Man 3 did it well, but then it all stopped. The Dark World is a mess. This storyline arises more from contractual responsibility than creative vision. This is especially evident with the villain. The Dark Elf Malekith is a total waste of Christopher Eccleston's talent. Number 14, Iron Man. The saying about lightning strikes twice in one place. Iron Man 2 comes a long way from the heights of its predecessors, making it one of the highest grossing Marvel movies, and all of which comes back into focus. This is a step beyond a coordinated image. It was built to play the first Iron Man success, introduce the War Machine and Black Widow, and further build the Avengers initiative line. Then, it needed villains. Thor was named a definitive member of the Avengers. Thor is definitely not a headlining action. Before Marvel Studios released Ant-Man or Guardians of the Galaxy, it was a bold move. Its values is that the final product is good. The script is self-aware in Asgard's high fantasy world. But Aesop pulls it out of the fish. I wouldn't say I like that trope, but it makes sense. Comedy and leads to exciting action moments. This set the picture apart from its territorial counterparts. That tonal change is crucial for establishing a small ensemble of Phase 1. Number 13, Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018. In theory, the Ant-Man franchise is great. It is one of the more carefree, humorous MCU features. Helmed by Paul Rudd, he and Evangeline Lilly make an odd couple. Their family lives bring much heart to the madness. Unfortunately, Ant-Man and the Wasp was not as good. Like Iron Man 2, the sequel gets bigger without getting better. Plus, Scott's hooligan friends are still around. One particularly frustrating scene is when the heroes see Lawrence Fishburne talking too long. Number 12 is Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015. It took me a few years to admit that Age of Ultron was not very good. At the time of its release, it was at the height of Winter Soldier and the Guardians of the Galaxy, while at the same time directly following the Avengers, one of the biggest and best Marvel movies of all time. There are various moments, Hulkbuster scenes, blockbuster splash page fame. Clint's farm provides much needed character play. Some interactions such as the party scene or the showdown between Vision and Ultron are best at the MCU. Number 11 is Guardians of the Galaxy. The interaction between the Guardians is as strong as ever, and the increased character of the Nebula and the inclusion of Mantis enhance it. Gunn excels at giving each character a unique tone and illuminating them in a balanced dose. The film has been one of the hottest MCU deaths to date since its release. Number 10 is Captain Marvel, 2019. When Captain Marvel was first previewed, I was amazed of how different it was from the rest of the MCU's. If directors Anna Boden and Ryan Flex stuck to their indie roots, Captain Marvel might have been a better film. Its endeavors are actually weakened by the high volume of 90s pop culture and musical references. Similarly, Carol's memory is used for suspense instead of development. Ultimately, it is not one of the best Marvel movies or the worst one. This is another ho-hum origin story when one could go boldly where no one had ever been before. Number 9 is Doctor Strange. Even if you do not fully appreciate Doctor Strange, this is a solid image, but in the case of MCU in 2016, it was old. The patterns are clear. He fights a villain with equal power, having a PAC sidekick who has a lot of self-respect, a female co-star fighting sexual tension. Number 8 is Captain America, the First Avenger. When Marvel movies were ranked in the past, the audience kept it low, but recently, fans underestimated how much it was. The wartime leaves the story with a unique atmosphere that does not recreate the MCU. But there is also a passion that other films do not have. Iron Man developed a superhero style in later years, which sometimes came into self-consciousness. Number 7 is Spider-Man: Far From Home, 2019. Avengers Endgame, although marked as ending the Infinity Saga, Far From Home is its most important epilogue. From a character standpoint, Tony Stark respects and challenges his organization, ultimately assuring fans that he will be fine when he is not. This allows Peter to explore further the responsibility that comes with his power, taking him to emotional and geographical locations that Spider-Man movies have never taken before. In terms of the movie, the set pieces get much oomph thanks to Mysterio, played by dreamy and crazy-eyed Jake Gyllenhaal. These surreal illusions highlight this film. John Watts' creativity and abstract compositions showcasing our VFX technologies. Number 6 is Captain America: The Winter Soldier, 2014. Thor: The Dark World has reason enough to worry about the Winter Soldier. Instead of giving Captain America another man versus man conflict, go for the superheroes, they tell a story about man versus society. When it comes to America in your name, that's a big deal. The film forces our flag waver to ask whether government integrity, military-industrial community, collective intelligence, and patriotism are loyal to an organization or its people. Number 5 is Black Panther. We joked about these huge ambitious endeavors in the Avengers films, but Ryan Coogler led this to a different level. Black Panther is a film that has anything to say, and it is about gravity, not subtle themes or hints. In fact, it has a lot to say, the breadth of which is only the real danger of this film. If not, it weaves a great epic that embraces the African tradition while at the same time unraveling the world of Wakanda. After the Civil War, T'Challa, Chadwick Boseman, became a new king who disagreed with the villain and disagreed with society, technology, fate, and himself. Yes, every conflict. Everything is wonderfully arranged to improve the character and the setting in which he lives. Still, the flesh and blood villain is still the best of any superhero movie. Number 4 is Captain America: Civil War, 2016. It could be Iron Man or Black Panther. If we're talking about maximum MCU experience, it might be the Endgame. If you're more heartfelt charge, it could be the Guardians of Ragnarok. But we are going with Captain America: Civil War, because it marks a paradigm shift, like a superhero movies. The characters work in divided worlds. Regardless of the level of their differences, they join forces for the Avengers team-up films. This is a reliable marketing gimmick, but that's it, a marketing gimmick. The Avengers movies' reassurance is that the heroes will always live. The villains will never care, normalcy will always be restored, and until then, the story will be stable. Number 3 is Avengers Endgame, 2019. Avengers Endgame is not always a big movie. It's not one of the best Marvel movies ever. It's an epic story of 11 years, both enjoyable of the victory lap, taking the characters to new heights and some darker depths. If you're not a Marvel fan, you can't get much out of it. But, Russo & Co., I encourage you to honor the retired merit. It is an art to combine the story threads of 21 films, while respecting the focus of each film and then directing those parts in a way that maintains coherence and emotional integrity. Number 2 is Iron Man, 2008. The top 5 Marvel movies, Iron Man comes second. Before MCU, Marvel sold its largest franchises to outsourced studios that were running them underground, without the winning formula and IP value. It was John Farva and Robert Downey Jr. who took the B-tiered Iron Man property and created enough conspiracy to continue the story of the years. To this day, Iron Man remains one of the top Marvel movies. Tony Stark, Genius billionaire. Playboy philanthropist. Downey deserves some Lifetime Achievement Award for work done with a broken heart. That acting drives and flies this whole movie. Number 1 is Thor Ragnarok, 2017. Using Taika Waititi's instinct for absurd comedy, it is definitely fun, if not one of the best Marvel movies. Without sacrificing any humor, Waititi and his authors take jobs at the Shakespeare exposition and theatrics of Asgardian public speech, while at the same time adapting the action to a whole new setting. Credit also includes the cast, also known as Revenge, which includes Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie and Waititi as Korg. This electric bunch solves the long-standing problem with the Thor franchise: poor support cast. Thanks for watching the video. Comment down below which part you liked the most. Click on that thumbs up button if you liked the video.